Here's a quick video of removal of a fractured K-wire. So let's discuss this young man's toenail. So you can kind of see at the top, and I'll put a little close-up of in a few minutes. So this young man had a congenitally long first toe, and what we've done is we've taken a section of bone out of the head of the first metatarsal and also the proximal phalanx. So there's the proximal phalanx. So it kind of looked like a little bit like this, and it was just really long. So we took a section out and shortened that toe back a ways, and it's an inherently stable fixation. So typically, if I'm doing an Akin procedure, A-K-I-N, you get an intact lateral hinge and you only need to put one point of fixation across it, but it needed two. So we put a screw across it, and that wasn't quite solid enough, so I'd put a K-wire. There wasn't room for a second screw, so I put a K-wire down. And in truth, it was very slightly long, and it was kind of coming out if you look at a stick with red. So if you look at now, looking at the sideways view of the toe, so we'd done our osteotomy here, so the screw had gone horizontally and the K-wire had come down, and it had exited just slightly out of the base of the proximal phalanx. It's in the flesh, and you couldn't really feel it, at least you couldn't intraoperatively. It became a slight problem as the swelling had settled down. Anyway. So this young fella decided he'd go to the gym. Why you do that, I don't know. People go to the gym for fun, apparently. So what he's done is he's dropped, and there's the distal phalanx there. He's dropped a dumbbell on the toe, and he's fractured his toe in, let's have a look, 1, 2, 3 places. And he's fractured the K-wire. So what was slightly problematic has now become loose and needed to come out. So in effect, it becomes a retained foreign body, which we think more about things like knitting needles, bits of splinter that you walk on, but he's basically got this loose piece of K-wire, and so that needed to come out. So we've got the option of doing this in theatre under X-ray, or because it was so prominent, I thought we can take this out in clinic for him, which effectively was more convenient for him. So if you've got the outside of the toe there, we can just feel it below the skin. A work of art, as you see. A bit cheeky. Anyway, so this young man, you'll see from the X-rays, so his joint is around about there, and the pin is there. Now, Ash, as I just press on that, you're just feeling that there. Yeah, so any sharps in there, fella?
I feel it.
Right.
Am I supposed to feel that?
Right, I'll rephrase that. Sharp or blunt? Because the anaesthetic works a bit like a divorce. It takes away pain but leaves feeling. So you'll still feel touch. So, sharp or blunt? Let me go another toe. Sharp or blunt? You feel the difference?
Yeah.
How's that one?
Yes. Yeah.
That's blunt?
Yeah.
Cool.
So, I still feel it though.
Yeah, well, but that's what the anaesthetic is.
If it's not sharp, that's cool.
Because it's clever, the anaesthetic, it just takes away pain. Otherwise, we wouldn't be a lot of use.
Because it's like me doing that.
If it took away touch, but you could still feel pain, it wouldn't be very clinically useful as a local anaesthetic. So we could put a little tourniquet on so there's no claret, because Fiona's just had the floor clean, so we don't have to redo that, do we, Fiona?
I don't mind a bit of claret.
Do you not? No, okay, well, but she has. A bit of Merlot.
Bit of nurses love a bit of claret, don't
They
they?
do, yeah. So just for the camera and for my 3 YouTube readers, oh, look at that, don't know my own strength, Ash.
3?
I'd already done skin prep just because we've just done that off camera, so just kind of get that back into view. Alright, so in there, so a little nip, but you shouldn't feel this.
You feel it?
Okay.
You alright?
Mm.
That can come flying out once you've got hold of
I don't think it's going to come flying out because I want to kind of get hold of it. It's just
What's hold?
don't pull the face off. It's what happened to me. I used to be really good looking, and there she blows.
That's it.
That's it. So that
Has that come out the centre of my bone then? Has it?
I can't discuss the patient. I'm sorry. And that was it. So now, in an ideal world, we could do that under X-ray guidance. So if we're in any doubt, Ash, this is as much for the camera as for you. We would do that under X-ray to know where it was. Now, obviously, we've got serial X-ray, so we know where that was, and obviously, I was looking at those just a few seconds ago just to kind of check, and then we could obviously feel it for you. So, as this is a teaching video, we wouldn't do that if without X-ray guidance, unless we couldn't feel it, we didn't know exactly where it was, and we didn't have the requisite skills to basically say, well, plan A didn't work, we need to think of plan B. So, had a lady come see me about a year, 18 months ago. She'd stood on, so I do quite a lot of these, you know, it's very, very much within my kind of area of common practice, as people send their little bits and bobs to me. So I've had a couple of cases through where people have had like 2 or 3 goes trying to take something out, blind, and they've not done X-rays or they've not done ultrasound. So one of the things that I always kind of bang on about when I'm teaching this is you need to know where the blessed thing is rather than just go on a...
Well, you could dig around forever, couldn't you?
You really could. Now, the other thing with you is because that wire was partly in the bone, it needed just a little bit of persuasion.
You're not to say that.
But that's okay, you know. I work out, I go to the gym 3 times a week. Do you know, I only use one machine at the gym though now, actually.
The coffee machine.
The coffee machine. Yeah, you honest work with me a little bit. Fiona, do you remember Basil Brush? Do you remember he had 2 catchphrases. One, of course, bum bum, and the other one was I do the jokes. But if you're using my jokes, that's okay, isn't it? He's stuck within the bone.
Is that 2 stitches or is it?
You got it, yeah. So we'll take those out for you.
You can ask for blue spots, aren't you?
No, white is fine. White's absolutely fine. Ash is an NHS, he's an NHS patient, so he doesn't need the good stuff.
You're terrible. Someone is
I
going to believe you
I don't-
on these days.
I don't make the rules, Fiona. I mean, it's for me to enforce them, but you know,
Thank God I get to retire a year earlier.
profit margins, you know.
Me being older than you lot.
Oh, we're going to be able to put the short.
Yes, you might not get it off again, but yes, you will get it
I
on.
thought it was going to be able to plaster. That was it.
Yeah, well, we don't like to send anybody out
You have to
undertreated.
make sure he looks dramatic.
Yeah, bit of a Tom and Jerry dressing. So, here's a close-up of the piece of wire that was removed, and we could have a long discussion about the pros and cons of doing this under X-ray or not. Just want to kind of demonstrate the technique. Conversation for another time. And then 1 week later he's come back, so Ash was literally in this morning to take the stitches out. You can see I just put the 2 stitches across. He's had hardly any pain this week, nice neat wound, 1 week post removal. I'll follow him up in 2 or 3 months time, really just check everything is fine with his toe, but I'm expecting a good result now. So doable, but not without some skill. Thanks for watching.